Hello, everybody. We have a lot of things to talk about. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Geezy Truth News. Thank you, everybody, for waiting so patiently. We have a lot of things to say. My audio engineers and my technical team. First off, let's just say Happy New Year's. And welcome to a great new year, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be something else. And I just want to say it's gonna be some very interesting times this year. I'll tell you what. It's gonna be very interesting times. So, where shall we begin? Welcome to Geezy Truth News. It is January 13th, 2017. Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday the 13th, 2017. It is some crazy times. Let's hope everybody out there is safe and sound, and we have a lot to talk about, lot to catch up on. I'm sorry for my fans. I've been out for a while. I almost forgot about the show today. It's 7 o'clock. It's supposed to be 6 o'clock on Fridays, but things happen and such and whatnot. So, where to even begin? Callers call in. Actually, my technical team has a few announcements. First of all, there may be just some technical difficulties on this show tonight. So that is where, and also my audio engineers are saying that the phone lines are down. So if you guys can just write in, I'll be checking in periodically if anybody's texting or messaging. I'll look into that. My technical team will let me know on the updates on that. And it is crazy. I've been on a hiatus over the past couple weeks, so to be honest, I haven't really been paying attention to the news. I have been, as much as best as I can. It's hard to get away from it, and it is just amazing what is going on. Like I said, we got a full plate, full agenda, full dinner table, lots of leftovers. People are more than happy, more than welcome to call in, or not call in because the phone lines are down, but talk about it, and let's see, Let's just go from the top, Don't know how long the show's going to go since the phone lines are down, but I'll say as much as I can, as much as I deciphered throughout my own readings. I've been trying to catch up, and I'll tell you what, it's looking good for the good guys. It's always looking good for the good guys. The good guys are winning. Been reading a lot of good news on memoryofwholeblog.com and whatreallyhappened.com. I check your own sources, check out, whatever. And let's see what we got. So, first of all, there's been nonstop, this whole end of the election and the end of Obama's term is going on a crazy spin-off. Apparently, he's writing a bunch of executive orders left and right, whatever that may be. I've heard, I read that a few politicians and congressmen were mad about it or had to say some words. And anyway, let's just review what some of the little fun facts that I uncovered. And so first of all, back in the election, and by the way, I'm not sure if I'll be making the show next Friday because it'll be Donnie Boy's inauguration. So that should be very fun. And, good luck to all you gentlemen and ladies for the TCs. Your guys' hand in the cryptocurrency Trump coin, well, I'm sure will benefit you guys regardless. So congratulations on that. So anyway, that's going to be next week, the inauguration. Going back to these little fun facts. So apparently, former CIA officer, and I'm not sure if I can pronounce this. Is it Caraccio? He says the truth is Clinton stole the nomination and was a bad candidate. And I'm just, we all say this, we're all called different names and conspiracy this and that. But here you have former CIA officers saying, here you go. It's ridiculous. And so if you're not going to listen to anybody, then it is what it is and it's a joke. And part of the reason why I think the whole Pizzagate stuff happened, and we all don't know what's going on over there either, Everybody's saying blasphemy that, blasphemy this, but there's a lot of evidence, but it's all circumstantial and all this and all kinds of crazy stuff. Bottom line is, and it's all very heavy duty stuff. It's all heavy messed up stuff. I'm not sure if we talked about it on past shows, but that whole scandal is just no bueno. And what can I say? There's no words with the amount of disgust that's associated with all that. So anyway, the reason why I mentioned that is because I think part of the reason why that happened may have been due to, obviously, to deter the obvious, which is the Hillary stealing of the election and the fraud and all this, and now they're all blaming Russia, and even though apparently there's no evidence, but they're still going to go ahead. And this new recent thing that happened apparently was the Russian dossier, which I'm sure you ladies and gents heard about. But nobody's really been paying attention to it because it's all just a hoax. It's all just a joke. But again, who knows? Bottom line is, the reason why all this hocus pocus is going on is to deter the fact. Forget about the Hillary situation. Nobody's thinking about that when all this is happening. And, I think people need to wake up and realize, well, hold on. We have, real issues. Not that these aren't real issues. These are all real issues, but you have to take one step at a time and take all this into consideration. So there's that. Former CIA Caraccio, I don't know how to pronounce his name, admits and says right off the bat, yeah, it's a joke. It is what it is. But, hopefully it is what it is. But, there's got to be consequences. You would think. She puts people in prison and gets away with, gets a rapist off from raping a 13-year-old girl or whatever that ridiculous case was, and then she laughed about it. And, yada yada, it is what it is. It's not yada yada, but, we have the corruption is rampant, It's not even hard to find all these things. So, and, the continuance, as I mentioned previously, Obama on his warpath is something else. It really is something else. Says over here, Obama on a warpath, and he's deploying tanks in Germany, and adding new systems in close to Russia. And it's ironic because they're saying Russian aggression. This is ridiculous. How can you call it Russian aggression when we're the aggressors? We're putting tanks in Germany. We're putting this in near their base. We're doing all of these things, and then we're the ones with over 700 bases all over the world. Russia, I think, only has like 2. And, I'm just stating facts here, guys. I'm just stating here facts. I'm the biggest patriot there is. I love the United States. I'm a U.S. patriot. I would argue the biggest one there is. But we have to be truthful with ourselves. have to be, okay, this is a bit ridiculous. Our leaders, I don't know what's going on here. They're not being truthful to us. This is obvious. So a little wake-up call would be a little nice. So Obama's doing this last hoorah, deploying all these things, writing executive orders left and right. If we could all look into all this, who's got the time, right? Everybody's just trying to live their life, but everybody's also trying to understand what the hell's going on. So that's real talk. And that's coming out from the Geezy Truth News bunker, you know what I'm saying? So it's the real truth and the real speak. On a side note, this is a bit ridiculous. Of all the fines and of all the ridiculous stuff that happens, our good old friend EPA. What has the EPA done this time? Well, let's see. Apparently, EPA sends 1,115,539 pounds of toxic metals into Lake Powell, which is a water source and vacation spot for millions of people. So, what's up with that, doohickey? What's up with what's going on here? The EPA, aren't they supposed to protect the environment? But looks like they took a giant shit onto a water reservoir, or a clean water source where people go to, and it's a popular spot apparently. And they just spent all that 1,115,539 pounds of toxic metals, apparently thanks to the EPA. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your tax dollar payers, your tax dollars at work, and this is what we get. So bada beam, bada boom. I gotta tell you, it's been crazy. It's been crazy. So, as I mentioned earlier with the, dossier and the Russian aggression and all this, they're really going for the Russia hacked election thing. It seems like they're going full blast on it. They're pretty serious about it, trying to go ahead and do all that. Apparently there's no evidence, no justification, but we're going to go ahead and do it. I heard from people that it's similar to the WMDs of Bush. It's like the WMDs of Bush. It's the same thing. He said there's going to be weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Went over there, there's nothing there. And the same deal here, except different lie. Same dance, different lie. So now, instead of WMDs, it's Russia hacked election. And who knows what the heck is going to happen there. I don't know why they're trying to push for war. Nobody wants war, right? Nobody wants war. Well, the political world shows otherwise. It really does. So, and apparently, here's a little thing. It must have been part of one of Obama's executive orders or something. Apparently, he's saying he authorizes the DHS to overturn elections now. Or this is just ridiculous. After you lose, you lose. But they just do not like this, the taste of losing. It's not in their blood apparently, and so this is going on. Authorizes the DHS to overturn elections. What does that even mean? That's ridiculous. We have these rules in place. We have this stuff. They change the rules. They get mad. They play by the rules, and then they lose, and then they try to change them. It's a mess. It's a game. In the words of Dick Gregory, it's a game. He's right. He's damn right. So, let's take a little breather here and take a little commercial break, and we'll BRB right back. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. All right, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, and welcome to Geezy Truth News. Thank you. All right. Well then, back to basics. Where were we? So, lots of stuff going on. You know, trying to get to everywhere we can. There's been a lot of discrepancies about the Google and the Facebook and all this stuff. I highly recommend everybody to switch over to, you know, good websites that respect privacy, respect all that stuff. Now I understand there is no privacy, blah blah blah. Yeah, but what these companies, what Google and Facebook and all these companies are doing, they're all going downhill because they're taking your information and trading it and selling it and all kinds of garbage that nobody likes, and it's a disaster. It's not good for anybody, and there's more to the point of that is, you try to find information, you won't be able to find that information on Google because they'll suppress it and find the information they want you to see and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, you know that's something I've been reading recently, and that I always knew about that, and most people, you kind of figure, but now there's a lot of websites that you could look into that have that respect. There's lots of new startups that respect your privacy and won't do the shenanigans that they're doing. So, um, by the way, I was talking about the inauguration. I was also reading, be careful, guys. I read that there may be some kind of like, violence, or maybe some kind of dangerous, like, who knows, there may be something happens on those days during inauguration, on the day of inauguration. I've had sources tell me that there's been groups and people announcing that it'll be the biggest protest ever, biggest. They'll show what they show, whatever. There's discrepancies, but you don't want to take There's been threats. You don't want to take any of that lightly, whether it's a joke or not. It is what it is. Be careful, everybody. I just wanted to say that. And so, about speaking of that, let's global warming, climate change, or whatever the yahoos are talking about this time. Um, There's snow on the mountains of Hawaii. There's snow everywhere here. I'm on the West Coast, but I got friends in the Midwest and East, and they're saying it's crazy. You know, they got up to 10 feet of snow. It's maybe not that ridiculous, but it's they got a lot of snow there. There's lots of snow, even on the tops of the volcanoes of Hawaii. There's plenty of snow. There's no freaking global warming or crying or you know all these tax-paying dollars and all this money is a hoax. It's a bunch of bull sneezy, and they're taking all this money and shoving it in their pockets. All this carbon footprinting, all this carbon taxing, all these useless degrees that they're trying to do with useless programs and companies and all this ridiculous stuff. In the for the purpose of all this, they're trying to make they're just trying to. It's all just a money grab, honestly. But on the other hand of that, it makes look clean energy makes them look like idiots because of those. For example, like those Solera guys or whatever they were named was that Obama gave them like $1 billion or something to make better solar panels, and that screwed up, and they lost all that, and so that's all tied in. It's all just a scam. They all try to make it all garbage. They're trying to make it all just garbage. Surrender and let me take over, let me fix it, and that's not the way you should run a country. It's not the way you should run anything. So, um, in the and all the wars that are going on. I'm sure you guys heard about all this. January 8th marked the 1000th day of the Donbass war, and apparently the Ukrainian army kidnapped like 20 civilians. I don't know what happened to the end of that. Just crazy stuff is going on. They probably call them the bandera, the bandits, even though it's the Ukrainian army. But even though it's not, it's very complicated. All of this is very complicated now. All this wars and all this bull sneezy going on is because it's not countries fighting countries. It's countries hiring private companies, portraying armies and vice versa, and all these third party groups. The mainstream media, whoever called them, there's moderate terrorists or whatever. That there's just so much garbage going on, and it's just blasphemy. It's pathetic, and people need to wake up and talk about it. Everybody needs to have a show. Everybody needs to be talking about all this, so we can all prove that we're not having this anymore. And hopefully our buddy boy Donny Boy will be able to do something about it. Actions speak louder than words. So we'll see how that goes. I heard they're bashing the guy already when he hasn't even started the job. They're bashing him, telling him how horrible he is. Well, he hasn't even started the job. He hasn't even had 1 day on the job. So there's that. Ron Paul said that. Did you guys hear the announcement of what Ron Paul said I don't know, it was a week or two ago, and Ron Paul said Obama is the first president in the U.S. to have had war every single day of his 2 terms, and that's very shocking, and that's very unfortunate. And apparently, right here it says that just in 2016 he dropped 26,171 bombs in 7 different countries. And I'm just thinking, it's like we have homeless veterans on the streets. We got homeless people. We got poverty. We got crime. We got all this bull sneezy going on in the country. And we have time to be doing this? Do we have time to be going blowing up shit? Really? Now that's some bull sneezy, if you ask me. That's why it's called Geezy Truth News. Because I don't beat around the bush. And nobody should else either. Nobody does. Nobody's serious. So, start speaking the name and then you'll start speaking the truth. In the big pharma, big food, now it's everything's an industrial complex now. Medical industrial complex, military industrial complex. Now I don't know if it's called that or what it's called, but now it's like the food industrial complex. Everything is a freaking industrial complex. Everything is just the prison industrial complex. Everything is just a sneeze show now, and it's a very bad one. And it's I don't know. This genetically modified corn stuff is going out of hand. This genetically modified stuff is going out of hand. They just did, PhD researchers just put out a paper recently, a new study that they did on, rats or whatever. A 90-day study on this genetically modified corn that we all eat, that I suggest everybody to stop eating it. If you haven't already, stop, do, because it's harming your systems, it's harming your body. They found out that within 90 days, and probably much faster than that, it destroys the intestinal tract. It just completely destroys it, and it's obviously fatal. And it's ridiculous. It causes cancer, I'm sure. I'm not a scientist. I mean, I'm a scientist, but, definitely ain't no hubbaloob over here, but you got to really know your stuff. And that's why we got researchers, thank God, truth scientists, truth researchers that are still caring about the integrity of their work instead of paid off CDC shills or whatnot. So, as you guys can tell, I'm not happy to be telling you all this news. This is all very bad mojo news. Bad juju. None of this is nice. I wish I could tell you a nice little tale or something. Nice little story. But there ain't no nice little stories right now. There isn't. Obama straight up lies to us. His farewell speech was a joke. I didn't even bother looking at it. I just read read that he said that he got Bin Laden and that he increased, a bunch of good, increased jobs and increased economy. What did you do? You didn't do nothing. You didn't do nothing. So, doing nothing is nothing to be proud of. Let me repeat that. Doing nothing is nothing to be proud of. Am I right or am I right? Are they right or are they right? Are we right or are we right? So anyway. Oh, and then there's forgot to mention, there is also back to the Hillary subject. It's all case closed, you would imagine, James Comey, but apparently this new released FBI thing apparently shows she clearly committed espionage. So there's, like I said, this year's going to be very interesting. And last but not least, a couple last things I want to say, because we're gonna cut the show short because the phone lines are down, and I just wanted to get the truth out, tell everybody I'm all right, let me know that you guys are all right. And nothing new here. Those $1 billion jets that we got, what are they called, the F-35s or whatever, the software got delayed. No surprise there. Nothing new here. They're just going to keep delaying all this and pouring more money, yada, yada. And this last new thing, I'm not sure. I'll have to look into this more. It was something about an assault on freedom law. That, I don't know what the heck was going on. Oh, and apparently Chicago was undercounting the murder rate. So again, nothing new. Lies on the state and federal level. All we want is truth. All we want is to be truthful, right? Why are we letting this government do this? Who knows? We have a new presidency, new year, happy new year, Merry Christmas. I'm a very optimistic guy, very positive, and this year, I believe, is going to be really interesting in a very positive and good way. 2017, it should be good. And with that, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you very much, everybody. It was a short show. Geezy Truth News is out.